Yeah, had to come through and let you know. Keep it locked, this is the Nate and Garrett Show. Talking current events, let the conversation begin. Everything from conspiracies, yeah, I'm talking aliens. Truth bombs that many never knew. We talking politics, everything up to the moon. Was the landing real or fake? I guess you'll never know. Let's talk, this is the Nate and Garrett Show, yeah. So lend me your ear, let's get it poppin'. You know that we keep it live, non-stopping. Educating, entertain, there ain't no doubt. After you listen, you'll be thinking way outside the box. From media dishonesty, never let them play you. Keep it authentic nowadays, many can't do. Unfiltered is how we do it. Make sure you stay locked in and tuned in, let's go. Had to come through and let you know. Keep it locked, this is the Nate and Garrett Show. Talking current events, let the conversation begin. Everything from conspiracies, yeah, I'm talking aliens. The Nate and Garrett Show.
And now, welcome to the Nate and Garrett Show. Prepare yourself to be transported to the furthest reaches of reality. As the hosts unravel the mysteries of the universe, the depths of the deep state, the truth hidden in plain sight, all while bringing you the news from this week. Please welcome your hosts, Nate and Garrett.
Garrett.
Hey, guys.
What's up, dude? We're live.
We're live. How you doing, Nate?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, good. Another big week. A happening week again. Boy,
we've had one not happening week in the last 5
almost
years.
like last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what I have a hard time not bringing to the show a lot? Is, we talked about how Malay and kind of like, hey, this is all great. We now have a libertarian president that's taken over a country that is completely fallen. And we're gonna be able to show the world that, look, this stuff all works. We're starting to see that the opposite manifest in big ways. Canada, because of the stupid liberal policies, is collapsing fast. And we're seeing now, like, Britain is just, free speech is dead.
I can't believe the videos I'm watching in Britain, man. Oh my God.
Despite the average citizen being so against how dangerous Britain's getting due to just this unfettered immigration, they just keep pushing it on the English people and call them racist and arrest them for speaking out against it. We're kind of seeing the same thing in Ireland and stuff. In France is in trouble.
Yep.
And the EU is just we're gonna see the fall of the EU pretty soon. Not even just within our lifetime, probably any day now. Canada's I think it'll be a first world country pretty soon. Like, it's looking very bleak for them. And I have a hard time a lot of times not bringing a lot of it to the show. Canada's GDP for quarter two was like negative 1.8%. And it was supposed to be flat, according to the experts. The experts predicted
almost
flat.
2%, yeah.
And it lost almost 2%. And, that's different when the U.S. does it, because our GDP, it's year over year. Our GDP is basically growing. This quarter two is 3.3%. Was it 3.8?
I don't know.
So three just in that quarter. So it typically grows, and you're going to have a quarter or two that are flat or down, I guess. But you're comparing it to quarters that are up. Where Canada's been so flat that when it goes negative, it's legit negative. Like if they go negative again next quarter, they're going to be negative for, like, flat for years probably. So they're having a negative GDP is a much bigger issue than the U.S. having a negative GDP reading. But also, they were expected last month to create 10,000 jobs or whatever it was. And they were worried, saying, geez, it's only 10,000 jobs. Well, they didn't. The experts were wrong. They lost something like 40,000 jobs or something in 1 month. So they were predicted to have a bad, quote unquote, bad month by only making so many thousands of jobs. But instead, they lost just multiples of that.
Well,
and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And, dude, it's exactly what we talked about. We've been the point you're making about all these countries is the same point we were making right at the election when we were saying, look, every country right now is at a crossroads or a fork in the road where they either go to the right and they get control of immigration and they, reverse their horrible welfare economic policies. They either go more libertarian or more socialist. And thank God the United States took the right road. All these European countries and Canada went left, and they're going to crumble, dude. I think they're so screwed.
And I think also important that we talked about, it said how Milei is kind of, hey, this is what happens. You thought libertarian. And now I'm saying how Canada and the EU and Britain and stuff is the opposite of that. Well, I think it would have been hidden if Kamala wins, because we'd still just have unfettered immigration. And it wouldn't matter what we said.
There'd be nothing to compare it to.
Yeah, exactly. Then they'd just be saying, oh, that's what they started to do.
It's a global crisis.
Exactly. They'd say it's a global thing. It's a global thing. This is due to, they already say it, COVID and climate change.
Yeah, climate change.
Due to climate change. Climate change has not changed any habitable areas. There's nothing different of any habitable
It's a
area.
huge hoax,
And
dude.
they're already blaming climate change on their failed policies. No, it's just more people are coming here because of our sins. We sin, causing the oceans to rise, which makes people come here. So really, it's your gluttony problems that cause this. So you don't have a right to bitch. You now can't go outside after 7 o'clock, and you're awoken 7 times a day due to the calls to prayer.
Yeah, you got to do the call to prayer now.
It is. But that's your fault because you use too much electricity. That's what it is. Or you didn't recycle enough. So it's really your fault if you think about it, Nate.
Yeah.
That's the road we're heading down.
And
now we're going to be able to see that that's not how it has to go.
It's also similar to that speech that J.D. Vance gave at the EU, wherever the hell that was, to Europe, where he said something like the first Islamic country to get. I'm not sure when he said this, I guess.
He said,
but it
was.
Oh, go on.
But no, I was just going to say, you're on the right path. That was when he also lambasted them for the loss of free speech and everything.
Yeah, that was epic.
Really early.
But he said the first Islamic country to get a nuclear weapon was going to be England or the UK. And I believe that now. The more stuff I watch, and we've got some clips even today. And
the Home Secretary?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. The Home Secretary, she said that she's on camera saying globalize the intifada. And she's the UK Home Secretary in charge of their immigration policy.
Do you know what she's also in charge of? Looking over the grooming rape gangs inquiry. She's the head of that.
Oh man, what?
Do you think?
Oh, no wonder. No wonder nothing. They can't catch anybody.
Chance that she's there. If you'll go left one real quick.
Okay, let me bring
you
it
show
up.
the whole Home Office. These are the guys. Remember, we talked about Germany. They voted to get rid of this unfettered immigration, and afterwards they said good luck.
Immediately after, they just said, "Oh, never." I know we said we'd stop the immigration, but we lied.
Yep. And not only that, we're shut out the AFD party, even though they have the majority. There's more AFD more AFD people in government now than any other party, but they shut them out. And also,
now they're murdering them
there. And they're up to like 7 or 8 deaths. It sounds like Mexico, where there's like 19 people died.
The Germany AFD party candidates are being murdered. Like eight in 2 weeks were murdered in Germany.
And the ones
that's their party that's like pro-Germany.
They're just qualifying them from running based off like liking and quoting Tolkien books and stuff. They're using really weird shit to say, nope, you can't run. France
It's a threat to their democracy if they let them run.
They did that to Le Pen. Le Pen can't run. She actually got charged. She's the head of like the pro-France party, and she can't run. And they actually charged her with a crime for basically just being pro-France and winning.
Can you imagine these countries in defense of excluding these popular candidates? They claim it's in defense of democracy. That's satanic to me, to hide behind
our media and liberals are going to look at them going, U.S. democracy is dead. Look at France and look at Germany. That's where we need to look to. That's what they would say.
Well, they would support that here. They would love to exclude people from elections.
For sure.
Liberals.
They tried with Trump.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, let's show this video.
Welcome to the shit show. Every single day,
This is who they
a new flavor.
convinced that not let in the people from the small boats that are coming in.
I'm gonna play this video again, and you tell me, which country does this look like?
Yeah.
Which country would you guess? I mean, it does not look like England. I'll say that. The New England, everybody. Okay, and here's the Shabana Mahmood
UK Home Secretary.
in charge of immigration, visas, and borders.
I'm just here. It's Saturday afternoon at a protest, a peaceful protest outside of a Sainsbury's store here in central Birmingham. And it's 3:30, and the store has actually just shut as a result of the peaceful protest. That's about 4.5 hours worth of business that Sainsbury's is losing for supporting goods from the Israeli settlements, which are illegal under international law. So we're calling on Sainsbury's and all other stores trade settlement goods that they stop doing, so that they do not support people who have broken international law. There's a huge response today, just here in central Birmingham. It's incredible to see, and the passion here of all of the people campaigning is incredible to see.
Okay, so she was just supporting that rally there.
Yeah, I know you can't hear, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of loud.
But it's just evidence that, I mean, the UK, I honestly believe the UK is, stick a fork in it. They're done.
You
Like,
know
I
what's
don't
gonna
think they're
help
going to
it?
come out of it.
What's going to help it was Brexit, and it already did because they got a better trade deal with the U.S. But all of these countries, this came off the back of you, the middle income taxpayer, and even low income, really. Basically, all of us. This came off of our backs. If they didn't steal it from us, they printed it from us. And look what happens. We don't even cut them off. We just say to Canada, say, this is too much. You're going to pay some back or fair share. And it collapses Canada. We're going to be seeing the same thing in Europe. It's going to be blamed on the U.S., meaning the taxpayer. They're going to say, how could you not keep sending your
Fund
money
us,
that you
yeah.
work with? Because we have to have a year mandated paternity leave, and we won't pay for any of our medications, our medicine, or anything. That's all on you guys. How dare you guys end this for us, is what it's going to turn into. But it's going to happen fast. We do. I've said over and over, I've beat up Trump a lot on the show, and a lot of the, I think, big mistakes he's making. But it's finally nice to have somebody that feels like they're in America's corner, the taxpayer's corner. Recently, too.
That gives me hope. You brought up if Kamala would have won. I think it would have been a wrap, like I said months ago.
USAID, nobody would still know what that was.
Yeah,
and it would just be a slush fund, and it'd be more and more.
The
We'd
border would be
paying for
wide
these-
open.
Yes, and we'd be paying for these small boats to be picking up and going into Europe more. So that part, it would have accelerated their downfall, but it would have accelerated all of our downfall at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw too, the South Korea, there's a bust on one of the factories here, and there's like 300 South Korean illegal
Oh, I saw
workers.
that. Yeah.
And basically South Korea came back and said, no, this is bullshit. You're making us look bad. These guys are supposed to be here, and they're in to train American workers and yada, yada. And it turned into negotiation. And basically, all we had to do was not send them back in our basically deportation planes, and we let South Korea's government come pick them up and bring them back. And they got a bunch of concessions. They're still gonna do a ton of. They're like, the companies here have to, even though they're South Korean, they have to say they're gonna do their best to hire mostly Americans. And also, it's something like they're investing X amount of $1 billion over it. Where in the past, Biden would have apologized. He
Yeah.
wouldn't have happened anyway. There would be no bust. But if he was, he would have apologized for the miscommunication and probably would have given him a free ticket.
Yeah.
you know?
Probably would have sent him
And
big
now-
boatloads of cash.
Yes. And so now it's like, okay, but you're going to pay for this. So it really feels like for the first time, somebody has our back a bit. Trump too, did you see, we should almost play the clip, but he said now they're going to look into basically anti-Christian hate and anti-Christian instead of he even said you hear anti-Semitism all the time, but you don't hear anti-Christian all the time. So they're kind of looking at that now too. And it's just another one where it's going to help that Overton window shift.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is common sense.
Yeah,
We have the liberals in media, in Hollywood and entertainment, just shitting on Christians, shitting on them all the time.
Yeah.
When they're by far, of all the religious groups in the United States, by far the most contributing and the least violent.
Oh, for sure.
But because of that, because of the whole they're turn your other cheek thing, they're just the easy target. And
yeah,
they feel like
and
they're
because
punching up.
they have the real God, and so the evil people have to rage against it.
We see in Canada where they lied and said we found mass graves of Native Canadians under these Christian and Catholic churches, and they were burning Christian and Catholic churches.
That.
And then they dug it up, and they found out there's no mass graves. It was just like a landfill, basically.
Yeah, that was just
and they
like.
Still won't admit they're wrong. They just they dig in the wrong spot. So, but they weren't calling those hate crimes.
Right, stuff
but
like that.
You know what? Trump and co. is not. They're not blameless in this. You could go to Chrissy Noem's that tweet. You remember she tweeted after the trans shooter shot up that Christian school? They released like billions of dollars for religious institutions to increase their like monitoring situations, like the cameras, the anti-theft stuff, and almost 100% of it went to Jewish synagogue for some reason.
Oh, great!
So this mental trans guy shoots up a Christian church, and so what the Trump co does is it goes and gives a ton of money to Jewish synagogues and said, here you go.
Yeah. You know,
know how many Jewish synagogues he had to walk by to go and slaughter those Christian kids?
Dude, good point.
And they're still acting like, oh, he's a Hitler anti-Jewish person. We need to give this money to synagogues for some reason.
Yeah, because you're making a great point, and it shows that Christians are being targeted by the insane trans school shooters. Yep. They're specifically shooting Christian children.
Even worse than that? Well, it's hard to say there's anything worse than shooting school children. But, there's deranged lunatics that sit in Reddit in their echo chambers all day. There's not a whole lot they can really do to stop them having those thoughts. But it's our own government. The FBI was going to Catholic priests and basically threatening them for not telling what people would say during confession and stuff. And we have them going to like PTA meetings and writing down the parents that are concerned with these super pro-trans, whatever
LGBT
agenda.
Yeah.
And then they're writing down their license plate numbers and visiting them. So what's even scarier is our government was going out against Christians and stuff too.
Yeah, yeah, and they aren't investigating the actual psychos. If anything, they're I believe crazy shit like MK Ultra, and if anything, the FBI
believe MK Ultra. It's proven.
Oh yeah, it's proven. Good point.
Even though the government lied to us about it and said that there's nothing there, even with all the FOIAs, because they act like, oh, FOIA, here's your Freedom of Information Act, and there's nothing there, so that proves there's nothing there. Well, they found out that they burnt all the boxes, and they found one box that was misplaced in a different warehouse, and that is everything we know about MK Ultra. Think how we know what 1/10,000th of it then probably.
Yeah,
one box.
It would just be whispers and a crazy conspiracy.
It happened to be Ted Kaczynski stuff was in there, so happened to be he's a part of this.
Yeah. No kidding. Let me show this because I think it kind of applies to everything we're saying. This Brazilian woman granted refugee status in Europe after facing 25-year sentence for misgendering a trans politician. So you want to talk about who's being discriminated against, who's facing actual persecution. It's not trans people. It's people who won't believe the lie. People who stand up and say, that's a man, that's not a woman. And they go, okay, we're going to give you 25 years in prison. They would do that here. If the liberals had their way, they would do that here. They would lock us in prison for not lying about gender, Yeah. Because they're psychos. So thank God this woman got refugee status.
They act like that's violence. And they use the emotional blackmail of saying, well, that person might kill themselves. You're doing violence.
Yeah.
When nobody really cares. As long as you leave the women and kids alone, nobody gives a shit.
Right.
Like, just quit making us lie to make you feel better.
Yeah. No shit. It just it goes to show you, that I really do think Christians are being persecuted and discriminated against and like targeted. And it's another thing of like, we keep making this point, but where they will vote for the fat dude to become Miss Maine, like we've talked about that. They will glorify what's evil and denigrate what is good. That's the whole left, Yeah. It's insane. Okay,
But, like,
anyway,
look at,
show that.
they try to act like, you even go to the abortion issue. They'll try to act like nobody likes abortions. We hate them. But we have to have it there. But at the same time, liberals, they wear Planned Parenthood shirts.
Yeah, they celebrate
and
it.
they get tattoos of it, and they celebrate it.
Yeah.
And they have parties and stuff. It's like, Jesus.
Dude, I'd like to get into the Conor McGregor stuff.
Let's do it. It
Because-
kinda ties in.
Yeah, it does. It actually really does, because it's the reason he's he's popular. He's popular in
basically
Ireland. He's Ireland first.
Ireland for the Irish.
Yes.
Basically what... Dude, so to start this off, Connor in the past has talked about running for president, and there was a poll recently in a newspaper called The Liberal, and it showed that he is way ahead in the
yeah.
polls. Like,
Almost
he
60% of respondents said they'd vote for him.
look at that.
Dude, I think it's
There-
interesting.
We've seen over and over how the EU does not let people that candidates win that they don't like. What's going to happen here? So the prime minister has come out and said that they're not going to let independent people run under their party and yada. So it's already starting. Where they're already seeing, okay,
They're
we
trying
have
to-
a problem here.
Right, yeah. Because
We're
he's an
gonna hear a
actual
lot
outsider.
more. Yeah, we're going to hear a lot more. They're going to do some character assassination. Mark it, but before we're on air next time, we're going to see a mass thing about a rape allegation or a women beating allegation, and it's going to be way more mainstream than it is right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be in a week.
You're probably right.
it's gonna be
You're
very
right. They're
soon.
going to go full court press, and
And they're
actually,
gonna
they
use-
might
they're gonna
have
use that.
some. They might have some meat on that bone.
Yeah.
Like Connor was accused of raping some girl at a hotel room, and I don't know the truth of that. I know Connor likes to drink a lot and do cocaine, and he's a UFC
we see
fighter.
this thing where I know we just beat up on liberals, but a lot of times they do it. They try to act like these politicians have to be saintly, kind of. Like, if you ask anybody that's on the far left, on a scale of 0 to 10, how moral do you think Bernie Sanders is? You're going to get a 10 every time. They have to almost deify their politicians. And I kind of think that is part of being how I keep saying how the leftists, because they're godless, they kind of fill that void with a religion. Their religion is political. And so it's like those are kind of the bishops.
Yeah, you're
of
onto
their
something there.
religion. So they act like, how many times do you hear it? Because I guess by and large, more Christians in the U.S. vote right than left. Well, you'll see something, and it'll be a Christian, or just a senator getting a divorce, or a senator getting caught in something. They say, "Oh, geez, here's the family values that the Christians are always talking about." They're not saying that Ted Cruz or whoever, take your pick, Ted Cruz is a good person.
A perfect,
Just
like a
because they're
perfect
saying
guy.
that.
Yeah.
They're not saying this guy is a holy guy. Anybody that's made it that high in politics, by the way, almost exclusively, is a piece of shit human being.
Yeah.
These people have to take AIPAC money, which is almost everybody. They're sellouts. They're selling their soul already
yeah.
for that money.
They're all
Ted
basically
Cruz
corrupt.
really didn't run for Congress to be the first to have his number one goal was to protect Israel. He's just selling himself out to AIPAC because he doesn't want those checks to stop.
Yeah.
So they all are scummy. You have to sell your soul to get there. And so it's kind of the same with Trump. They'll point at something in Trump's past, like real Christian of him. Well, for one, Christianity isn't about like, hey, you're a Christian, you're supposed to be perfect. It's kind of the opposite. If you know about Christianity, you're supposed to strive to be good, but that it's kind of ingrained that everybody's a sinner.
Right.
And, so it's like they miss the point of Christianity and the point of being a politician. These politicians are all shitbags.
Yeah.
You shouldn't look up to any of them.
Yeah, you
shouldn't
should know.
trust any of them.
Yeah, you should know they're scumbags.
Look what happens. Look what happened with Cash. Cash now we know is one of the biggest pieces of shit to ever walk the earth.
Yeah, I keep getting my heart broke.
Yes. But at the same time, you're not supposed to worship these people anyway.
Right.
So it's kind of the same with Connor. Like, is Connor an imperfect person? I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I'm sure he is. Do you know about his upbringing? Like, his dad used to beat the shit out of him. And I think he's an imperfect person, but he's not running for sainthood. He's running because his ideas are better than the other shit bags that are running.
But you're right too, because
concept.
the left they act like Gavin Newsom's not a scumbag, and then and then when they get proven to be scumbags over and over, they just make excuses for him. It's just like Obama. It's like, oh, he's sophisticated. That's why he can just break the rules.
Every time something comes out, you're gonna have. Well, we in the left, we can actually criticize our people. People on the right want it. Are you kidding me? How many Republicans hate Mitch McConnell? How many Republicans hate the Speaker of the House? How many Republicans hate? We can go down the list. Republicans hate most of the Republican representatives, but at the same time, the liberals do the exact opposite. But there's so much corruption that when they finally admit, they're like, well, we can admit that they should be going to jail if they went and raped a kid. It's like, oh, geez.
We can admit that.
There.
Yeah. But another thing is that the right is not beyond being guilty of this kind of tribal, our guys not.
Absolutely.
The right does that too. Everybody does that, but I don't know. The left does it worse. You know what I mean?
You ask, let's say the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. If we ask most MAGA what they think of him, it's going to be way less than if you ask the average liberal what they think of AOC. AOC, the average liberal is going to say, oh, we love her. 90% will.
She's great.
But with Mike Johnson, it's probably closer to, I don't know, 40,
right.
50%.
But we still got to vote for her. We'll still vote for him. but we won't think he's an angel,
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, that's a good point. But let's listen to this. This is McGregor's kind of announces he's going for president. It's like 2 minutes, so we can stop it at some point, but it's pretty good. Let me make sure I got it.
This is older, right? This is not.
No, I think this is pretty recent. I could be wrong. I think this was when he
said,
is
he officially running?
I don't know. I guess I don't know.
Before he said, I got to say, I don't really know the difference between, because I know that Ireland has a prime minister and a president. I don't know the difference. I don't know which one's higher.
I don't either. I don't know anything about Ireland politics. But I will say that, all we've said about McGregor, he's not perfect. I'm sure he has some flaws. Yep. I hope he didn't rape a woman. That would be very bad.
Yep.
I don't know the details of that case. Things I do like about McGregor is I don't think he's a EU puppet politician. Yeah. I think from the things he says, I think that he wants what is good for Ireland, which is different than whoever the president is now, who wants the Irish people to suffer.
We almost got, I know we played it a lot. We almost got to play that video where they ask a bunch of people in Ireland what they think the most common boy's name is.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's,
That's old now. That's years old.
Right, that's years old, but the most common name in Ireland is Muhammad.
You want to
I gave it away. Yeah, I gave it away, but the people probably should know that by now.
I love it. Like, I don't know, Michael?
Yeah, is it Patty? Nope. Okay, here you go. Let's watch this.
Good morning, citizens of Ireland. I'm here today outside the office of the Taoiseach and Taoiseach, where we are over 200 days into the formation of current government. In these times, this government has cost us our peace of mind, our security, our hope for the future, and the general well-being of Irish citizens nationwide has decreased dramatically, whereby we have seen the homelessness of Irish children risen to levels unprecedented. proving this government's refusal to abide by and respect our proclamation, and where all children of Ireland are to be cherished. Instead, our children abandoned. This incompetent failure of future generations has been accompanied with an intense influx of mass migration into an already severed system. Our tourism has sharply declined, while danger on our streets has risen. Ireland, as a master of martial combat, a solution-driven man, you will hear me speak on a problem but once, then it is action towards solution. I urge all our citizens to be of the same. Today, Ireland, I am outside these gates of these appointed officials, but as your head of state, you empower me to enter these buildings on your behalf. A president face to face with government officials with only one priority: to ensure that the country our founding fathers gave their life for is strictly adhered to on behalf of its citizens. Ireland, under my tenure, the will of the people will be heard. Ireland, under my tenure, we will return important articles of our Constitution prior, and thus again aligning with Padraig Pearse's proclamation, in that we declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland, and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood. Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Oh, man. Come on.
Pretty good speech, right?
Yeah,
How about
really
that?
Good. Yeah, he hit it at the start. Ask Grok quick. What's higher, Prime Minister or President of Ireland?
Okay. But
I'm really excited if it's President.
Dude, also, I wanted to say, it does sound like he officially announced there. He said, under my tenure, you know?
Yep. I didn't know that.
And see,
I thought it was just one of those polls that they just throw random people in sometimes. You know, they always do.
Oh
that.
yeah, I'm gonna ask Grok. What am I asking him? What's higher?
What's higher in Ireland, President or Prime Minister? There you go. Come on, say President. Say President.
The Taoiseach. The Prime Minister holds a higher position of power than the President.
The President's a largely ceremonial figurehead. God, he should run for.
Yeah, run
the
for Prime
Taoiseach.
Minister. Yeah, run for the Taoiseach.
You know, it's kind of the same in France. We'll talk about it because their government collapsed today. And it's kind of the same. They have this prime minister who I thought he got voted out. But you remember he did that thing where he called elections quick in a big gamble, and they act like it might have worked at first. But now all the presidents just keep getting voted no confidence. And they're on like their 5th or 6th president or something in the last few months. And the one today, the president has to call. So weird. Europeans just do this so weird. He has to call for like a vote of confidence. And he voted no. He let him vote today, and they voted no confidence. So he's out.
On Macron?
But now it goes back to Macron, and Macron just, I guess, picks another guy. It's so fucking weird. You Europeans are so fucking weird.
It's just set up to keep the power with the powerful.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Miggles says, looks like their presidential election day is end of October 2025, according to ChatGPT. Dude, how cool would it be if McGregor wins? I think that would be good for Ireland, you know?
Yeah. You know, when it comes to the EU, it's almost like you have president, and then you have the prime minister, I guess, and then you have the EU, because they could tell you a lot. You have to take in this many migrants, you have to do this and that. And really, when it came to like the tariffs, like France or Spain or whatever, they couldn't come one-on-one and try to negotiate with Trump. They had just that random unelected lady that had all the power on being like all of it. She was doing for all the EU with just Trump. So what country does she have best in mind? Because that's going to have a lot to do with what kind of a deal they strike.
Yeah.
It's such a
That's why
stupid
your
system.
country needs to never be in some country conglomerate, you know? Because then whoever the leaders are, they pick and choose. Greece starves to death while, you know, Belgium gets all the cheese or whatever.
Yeah, And like what European country is that's known for their wine and stuff? You remember they tried to hit back at Trump with tariffs, trying to be Trump. All right, well, we're gonna do a 250% tariff on your wine because we can make wine here.
Yeah.
And then they had to say, whoa. So it's kind of fun to actually see a president that didn't fold, and that actually because
That's why I like the
the US
tariffs, honestly.
the USA, we're not only the world power with our military that everyone takes for granted and makes fun of us and tries to sling mud at us, all while
And
saying,
then begs us for
hey,
help.
Big Daddy USA, how dare you guys not come and end this this Russia war that you have nothing to do with, or whatever war, or whatever they want us to spend on. Do you know they were pissed because Trump said, okay, Ukraine, you could still buy weapons from us, but you guys have to pay for it. In NATO countries, they got super pissed. They're saying, oh, wow, thanks a lot. You're wanting us to pay for it. Yeah, how about that? You guys pay for your own defense for once.
No kidding.
So not only do we have the power of just the biggest military ever, we also have the power that we're the biggest consumers ever. So it's about time that somebody leveraged that for the good of us, because it was never leveraged. It was like I keep talking to, Israel had tariffs on us. These are the guys that we're been
giving them
just
money,
propping up. We let them have so much influence, and they're the one. They have tariffs on us. Like, how dare these countries live off the American taxpayer and the American dollar, and at the same time just demand all this?
And
we have
spit in our face.
Yes. Yeah, and spit in our face. And we had the presidents just go, okay, we'll do it for global order.
Sorry.
Fuck global order. Fuck your soft power. It's all worthless. We don't want it.
Yep, absolutely. It's all a lie anyway.
This is
I want to
Ireland's
point this
deputy
out too.
prime minister. Who knows what the fuck a deputy prime minister is?
Yeah, but
This is Simon Harris.
they're
He has
petrified
ordered
he
his
might
party
win.
he has ordered his party to block independent candidates, including frontrunner Conor McGregor for running for president of Ireland. No,
It's completely undemocratic. These people wouldn't know what democracy was if a popular leader was running and they had to block him. God, it's crazy.
We almost got to find. I think it's Germany. They didn't let this guy run for real because he had a token quote. He quoted token.
Well, at least they didn't kill him.
Yet.
Yeah.
I mean, this is balderdash, Ben, and it's the latest attempt at disinformation and misinformation, which I see Elon Musk joined in today.
Who is this little rat mouse little bitch?
Ireland, you guys are soft. This is your deputy prime minister.
McGregor should choke this guy out.
He's telling you guys who you can and can't vote for. You just soft people.
How great would it be if McGregor,
serious country,
McGregor just came in punching this guy in the face? That would be great.
Sure, why not?
And look,
Backing a man.
It fits every time. The person with the most testosterone in this picture is that lady in the background.
That woman here. Yeah.
It is every time.
Who has been found civilly liable for rape in our courts. That's the sort of man he believes should be president of Ireland.
Okay, so he was found civilly liable, not criminally though. But
so is Trump. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Well, thank God he might have.
And who knows the standard in Ireland too?
No
I'm not
shit.
sticking up for him. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if there's one court that I don't trust at all, it's all of the courts in Europe. All of them.
Yeah, no kidding.
A say who's president of the United States of America, but he's no say in terms of who the president of Ireland is. It's an utter nonsense, but the Fine Gael party is backing the Fine Gael candidate. Hold the front page. I mean,
I don't know this little worm, but I don't like him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't. That's going to be a disturbing story to talk about. That picture there.
Yeah, I know.
You know, we brought all this up. Maybe we should go into England.
No, not quite yet. Oh yeah, you're right. We haven't talked about. We have not talked about. Speaking of the courts in Europe, there is a comedian that had some tweets, and these tweets, by the way, are older than the law he's being arrested on. We've talked about that.
Oh, they go back, man. That's so
You're gonna find text messages since before a law was passed, and they're gonna say, Nate, we don't like what you said here about this protected group. You're gonna have to go to trial now. And then you've seen some of those videos of the British judges just acting like these are the worst of the worst.
Yeah,
people
yeah.
for free speech.
Yeah.
And they give them just the maximum sentences. And I can't remember how many arrests Britain's up to a day due to free speech. But there's a comedian. I have his tweets. There's 3 of them. And they tweeted before. I don't even think he's from Britain, by the way. And he got arrested and he's getting tried in Britain. He's in the U.S. and he flew through, I think it was London. And they arrested him there with like 6 armed guards. And he is now going to be sentenced for these tweets. And they
Dude,
were...
Talk about like not understanding justice to a degree that's just so brutal that you would go before the law was enacted and say you preemptively broke our law and we're going to arrest you for previous speech. Not to mention that you know, it's obviously a travesty to arrest him at all, but to go to before the law even existed is unbelievable. It's just,
I love that Vance
people should be
called
hung,
out.
dude.
I love that Vance called Britain out on this and Europe in general. But he did it right to Keir Starmer's face. And Starmer did the whole, we have
free speech. We love free speech, just not hate speech.
So go to the go right.
This
we'll come
one?
back to these. Play this one first.
Okay.
This is Graham Linehan. He's a comedian. And he got, do you know what? Maybe we should show his tweets.
Oh, dude, you had a great tweet about this where someone said, I think, Adam Carolla said, he tweeted this story out and he said, or no, someone tweeted a thing about, God, what's the female comedian's
Oh, do you know what?
name?
It is, Biggles is on. She'll know. She's the fatter comedian that always talks about
unfunny comedian.
Vagina. She got the same Schumer. Amy Schumer.
There you go, yeah. Amy Schumer was talking about moving to England, and Adam Carolla tweeted, I don't think England is the place for comedians. And then Garrett commented, she'll fit right in then, or something like that. That's the perfect place for her to go then, or something.
Yeah, so she'll fit right in.
Yeah, anyway, that was great.
Maybe show his tweets first. I asked Grok to summarize, or to give us his tweets. I had trouble finding the ones.
Okay.
So he says, if a trans-identified male is in a female-only space, he is committing a violent, abusive act. I brought that point up all the time. They're already able, they don't give a shit about invading these personal boundaries already. If a male
they
wants
get
to
off
walk
on it.
into a female's bathroom, he's already invading female spaces.
Yeah.
He's already a violent piece of shit.
And it's actually often a
doesn't
sexual
matter.
fetish for
I
them
was
to
gonna
do
say, It
that.
doesn't matter if you're dressed fetishly as a woman and you're doing it. But he said he is committing a violent, abusive act. Make a scene. Call the cops. And if all else fails, punch him in the balls.
Yeah.
It's a funny tweet.
It's a funny joke, yeah. Yep.
The second one's a photo of a trans right rally caption. A photo you could smell.
How true is that?
That is obviously a truth. That's funny. And you see it. You know what? This guy probably just stole that from a million people that said the same thing before.
Oh yeah, it's a common sentence that makes perfect sense when you look
And
at
that
the
is
photo.
one of them. They're arresting him over.
Yeah.
Follow up. I hate the misogynists and homophobes. Fuck them.
You know, and it's similar to the Brazil girl that I showed who was facing 25 years for saying that man is a man. Can you imagine the state of the world? Like, I don't think Orwell or, Huxley or anyone could have ever imagined calling a man might get you 25 years in prison.
Do you know what? I would say, yeah, it's just like saying you're going to punish me. The government's going to punish me for saying the earth is not flat, it's round. But they did to COVID doctors. The reason you heard one side of the COVID debate is because they were yanking the medical license of MDs that would tell the truth. They were firing researchers that threw up red flags. And they would say, all scientists agree. The scientists say, I don't. And they'd basically just assassinate
he's not
the
a science
character
anymore.
And say, all the good scientists agree. So they were. People were saying, hey, the earth isn't flat. And the Democrats had no problem punishing them. So it still did kind of happen here. Not to this extent, but still happened.
And what a shocker. The censorship system was evil and wrong during COVID.
Yes.
I wonder if it will be evil and wrong during this trans bullshit, I wonder if England's going to come out going, we were right to censor everyone's speech and throw them in prison.
You know, one of the things I'm really excited for is President Vance. I'm more excited for President Vance than I am for President Trump. And one of the things is I think he has a disdain for Europe that matches mine. I don't think anybody has more of a disdain, but I think his matches mine. And I think like he's let it out a couple times. He's gone over there and
he's had some great
lambasted them.
speeches. Yeah.
And even in those leaked signal text or whatever the hell it was with Hegseth, where he basically said, he's like, I don't want to bomb the Houthis because we're doing England's dirty work. We're doing Europe's dirty work again. I'm done with it. So I think he needs to be president.
But he also said during that text, he said something like, but if you think it's best or something, which I wish he hadn't done that. But, you know, I'm with you on that.
It's also not his call to make.
Right.
That too. He does have to, I think, tread a bit of a fine line. Like, I don't think he thinks it's a good idea for the U.S. government to own Intel. And I don't think he thinks it's a good idea to not release the Epstein files. So I think now he's in this weird spot where he has to basically have a united front with Trump. But I don't think he thinks those things are right.
Yeah. You know, I'm a big supporter of J.D. Vance also. Although I've recently been looking into some of how he got into politics and stuff. And I'm watching some conspiracy
videos.
Yeah, well,
get canceled, eh?
See, I like a good conspiracy, whether it's on any side. And basically, the stuff I've been watching was about Peter Thiel, the billionaire. And the videos I've been watching basically said Peter Thiel found J.D. Vance at Yale or wherever he was. And he said, hey, you're a smart guy.
They all do this, by the way. Yeah.
Politicians.
AOC,
I know.
Her the same way. They basically, you're trying out for a play, basically.
Well, I know, but
we could put money behind you, and we could make you into a star.
Well, it goes to what we said before, that they're all corrupt and they're all little weasels. Yep. And maybe J.D. Vance isn't perfect. Yeah. You know, maybe he's owned by Palantir, owned by Peter Thiel.
It's a weird one because the guy's obviously very brilliant. And he's made a shit ton of money by being brilliant. But now he's got an obsession with the Antichrist and stuff, apparently.
I know. Yeah, I've been watching these Tim Dillon videos. This is how I got it. This is how I started looking into it more. And also, Palantir.
People try to say he owns Palantir. He doesn't own Palantir. I own Palantir. I don't now. But, that's a publicly traded company. So you just own stock in it. He doesn't have any more ownership than anyone else that owns a bunch of stock in it.
But he might own a lot of stock.
Yeah.
He probably has something to say about what they're doing.
Is he on the board?
I don't know.
Google to see if he's on the Palantir board.
I don't know. He's just so associated with Palantir. I always hear, Palantir, Peter Thiel. So I don't know. But I'll say one thing about it. He seems to be involved in like surveillance and facial recognition and like mass surveillance in China where they look at everyone's face. And if he's super powerful, and like I think they want that shit here. I think the evil lizards want to eventually have a mass surveillance state in the United States, which is why I think we need constitutional amendments forbidding it. Okay. But, it just goes to, I just want to make the conspiracy theory point of like, if J.D. Vance is Peter Thiel's little sidekick, and then J.D. Vance becomes president, and then mass surveillance gets implemented in the United States, it won't be a coincidence. But that's just that's just conspiracy theory stuff. We'll see if that's what it is or not. As it is, J.D. Vance has my vote. Because what am I going to do? Vote for AOC? Let's not. She's got her handlers too.
Dude, I'm actually starting to think there's a chance Gavin Newsom's and I never thought it would happen. I think it'd be the dumbest move ever.
I've been saying that.
Gavin Newsom.
It's gonna be.
I just thought nobody's that dumb. I mean, they just point to California and say, "Look at California."
Oh shit. Yeah, but they're just gonna glorify him. They're gonna say he's the guy.
Dead in the water if it is. Yeah.
I hope so, man. Yeah, he sucks. Dude, he sucks.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
But you know what? AOC, I think AOC is gonna be.
You know what? I have
2032 AOC.
I have a very big dark horse I'm going to bring to the show. I'll do it next week. I think they might be getting ready to have this guy rise up.
For
Nobody knows his name.
For which election?
I think maybe even for president. And I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, but I mean, what year?
That not a single. This next coming one, I think.
Okay.
I think it might be that quick. I'm going to say that won't be a single viewer we have that knows his name. I'm going to say he's that little. Not a single
That's
one of
what they
our
need.
very educated viewers are going to know this guy's name. And I think that he's got more of a chance than Gavin Newsom. And I bet,
dude, that's what you know what?
Bet, it's going to be 1 in a million. I bet.
Garrett,
I bet we couldn't find anyone to give us a bet on it.
That's what the Democrats have to do. So whoever you're thinking of is probably the move they should make. They should bring that guy
next
out.
week. I'll show you guys some of his speeches, and I'll tell you why I think he is going to be the nominee.
I'm interested. Anybody watching, if you want to take a guess at who Garrett is,
nobody wants.
we have a what if somebody nailed it? What if someone nailed it?
That would be kind of crazy.
It's like the mayor of some shitty little town or something. Okay, here we go.
This is our buddy here, Linehan. I think it's showing up to court wearing this. So this guy's got some balls.
Just for not wearing a tie. Oh, for wearing the for wearing the billboard.
You thought his haircut?
Yeah. Hey, Garrett, it's a nice suit. I guess he should have put on a tie. Oh, I missed the giant billboard that said there's no such thing as a transgender child. I got to get a billboard like this. I'm going to wear it to the poker
billboard,
room.
Nate.
Do you have a few words ahead of today's appearance?
These guys are never going to say anything.
This man is a hero.
If I'm Trump, I think I'm really saying, get ready for some more tariffs. If you guys arrest this guy, if you guys charge this guy, more tariffs, because this isn't what our allies do.
Well, that makes me think.
We're putting a bunch of tariffs on India right now because they're buying
human rights violations and stuff. Yeah,
they're buying Russia gas. So this is a human rights violation.
This is better.
Why not tariff the shit out of them?
Dude, I like that. And that goes to that J.D. Vance speech again, where he said, the reason we all are tied together is because of freedom of speech and our Western values. But you all are not doing the Western values.
The shared values.
Yeah.
So now it's almost just like, well, we've historically been allies, but what the hell does that mean?
Why would we give you jets? We're going to have to fight you pretty soon because you're communists.
Yes.
Yeah,
you're trying to tax American companies for having free speech and stuff. They're trying to tax our tech companies. They're not yours. Keep your grubby fingers out of it.
They're trying to extradite Americans for what they say on X.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to say again, this dude is a hero, and you're right. He. Hang on, we just got something. Oh, we're new to Kick.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep.
But this guy he's like going to court in England for tweeting things that they don't like to see. And he shows up with that billboard. See, I love that because he's standing behind what he believes
you know what?
in.
This isn't a guy that's just not afraid either, because supposedly he had to go to the hospital because he was so kind of freaked out about all of this and stuff.
Well, they'll probably give him 30 years. He might go to prison, man. That's what men have to do.
He's not just afraid and thinks he's fine. He's fucking terrified, but it's still the right thing to say.
Yep. God bless.
Because we've seen judges really drop the hammer. We make fun of it. You remember when we saw the guy burning the Quran, and all of a sudden, somehow, in no weapons England, there happened to be a Muslim there that had a knife. You remember that? And he went after him.
Yep.
We showed that.
Yep.
And the cops came. I said, what do you want to bet that the Quran burner gets in more trouble? Well, he did. He got arrested with no bail. And they
let him out that day. Yeah.
Let him out that day.
Yeah, we talked about that.
He's not showing up for court. He's not going to show up for court. Well, the guy that burned the Quran, his life's probably over.
Yep. He got attacked with a knife. And the guy attacking him with the knife was out that day. And he went to jail for 2 weeks or whatever it was.
Yep. There's a huge injustice that the UK government is putting on their citizens. They're making them second-class citizens.
Dude, I mean...
Speaking of Christians.
Yeah, should we just show a bunch of these?
Yeah.
Dude, the UK is so screwed.
Yeah. Screw these UK cops, too.
They're the most evil.
Yeah, they are just corrupt. We've seen over and over. They're on the wrong side of everything.
Yeah.
Of God's word of being arrested for alleged hate crime. We've come out here because we love
Hate crime
you.
for reading the Bible.
Yeah, that's another thing about that makes me believe even more in the Bible and stuff is that you get arrested for reading the Bible on the street. It just looks like the Bible's true to me, you know. The police can't allow that.
So Christ in his love died upon a cross to save sinners.
You know what's weird about this too, is that I think if you did a poll or a vote by the English, they agree with arresting this guy. They got some really weird views on free speech. In a way, England deserves what's going to happen to it, just like Canadians deserve what's going to happen to Canada.
Absolutely.
But it just sucks for the people that are stuck in the middle, the little bit like him. they're gonna reap what they didn't sow because there's just so many cowards now in these countries.
Yeah, which makes me want to reiterate my point that I made a few months ago of like, I wish the USA would do an immigration program for like freedom-loving, free. If you love free speech and you like love the Second Amendment, you can come be an American citizen. You have to like swear an oath to our Constitution or whatever. But if you actually have good values, that's the people we want in our country.
Yeah.
If you're in Canada,
South African Boers or whatever, they took a bunch of
stuff
them
like
in.
that. Canadians
and
who
there's videos
aren't
you can find of them
socialists.
saying, "This is great, guys. You can come here and you can actually work, and this is how I got my CDL license." And they're not coming to try to mooch. They're trying to come and actually assimilate and work and get out of there.
That's what I like.
Shitholes.
Yeah, that would be great. Anyway.
Lesbian, homosexual, drugs, thieves, there's a hope, there's a Savior, Jesus Christ. God bless you, Congleton, today.
You know, he got arrested for saying Jesus Christ is Lord, and you can sit there and say Allah Akbar and wave machetes in the air, and you won't get arrested. You know?
I haven't got a clue why is he being arrested.
Yes, it's ridiculous. They might be a bloody nuisance to some people.
There can be one accusation, and they will just take that and put us in cuffs and arrest us. It
It's
happens
just
all the time.
balmy.
Why are you being arrested?
Correct.
Congleton, we love you. God loved us enough to send his son to die upon a cross for sinners. That our sin can be taken away, that we can have everlasting life in and through Jesus Christ. But he is the only way. He is the only way. The flags.
Yep.
These police. Here's another one. This is only 20 seconds. Let's play it.
Well, what did it need to come to?
Tell us why you escalated it to this level, because I don't understand. I posted something that he posted. You come to arrest me, you don't arrest him. Why has it come to this? Why am I in cuffs? Because of something he shared, then I shared.
Because someone has been caused, obviously, anxiety based upon your social media page.
You know, I hate that. So this cop caused me anxiety just now.
Yeah.
For real. So I want him arrested.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Oh, this is kind of a cool thing that happened. So this, I wonder if this is a real Banksy.
It is. So this happened today, or recently. Banksy came and drew this.
I'm gonna hide my webcam.
Kind of decrying the laws of free speech. Do you see what they did to it?
Yeah. Hang on.
This is him being against censorship. What a cool thing he did there too. It wasn't it on like the courthouse.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, Royal Courts of Justice building in London.
And I like you got this judge walking by too at the same time. I don't know, something good about that. Hang on, we've got another.
Did you see they? Yeah.
Where is it?
You're probably just going to the comments there.
Oh yeah, I'll bet. That's probably what it is. Yeah, here you go.
Look at it. They put these.
They
blocks
covered it
there
up and put some
They
cards
covered
in
it
there.
up.
Isn't that perfect?
Yep.
If they beat a guy to death outside of it, it would be a slightly more apt, I guess.
Yeah.
You know. How funny.
London has fallen. They lost World War II.
Yeah, England. Ugh. Cash withdrawal limits.
Look at this.
Oh my God, dude. Hang on.
All right, what's that say there? Yeah.
It says it's false. Okay.
Okay.
Matter
we'll
of time.
save that until we know more. Yeah, we'll
matter
save that
of time,
one.
I guess. Garrett, we've gone.
Yeah,
almost exactly an hour.
Adam and Stove.
Yeah, Adam and Stove. Hang on. Miggles said, "How ridiculous is your court system to still be wearing old-timey wigs?" I love that point. Adam and Stove says, "Couple real important guards there. Their proudest moment." Yeah. What a couple of heroes. God, that's the thing about these cops enforcing these free speech laws. Like, shouldn't you know that you're an evil piece of shit? How do you miss that? How do you not know if I'm arresting a guy for a tweet that, but they just want money, I guess. They just want their job.
Yep. It's terrible.
I want to talk about this.
So much more.
Yeah.
So, yep.
It'll probably take a long time to cover this story, but it's such a tragedy.
It is an interesting one. Yep.
This girl.
Let's save it.
Yeah,
we almost got to save it because it's a big one. We could probably do an hour on this.
Yeah. It's just so terrible.
It's still going to be here next week. Yep.
Boxbar says, proves again you don't have freedom of speech without the right to bear arms. Great point. I absolutely believe that. None of these other countries have the freedom of speech, and they also don't have the right to bear arms. I don't think that's a coincidence. Yeah. And if we lost our right to bear arms, we would lose the freedom of speech at the exact same moment. They would wait a little while for us to know, but that's when we would have lost it. Holy shit. Okay, let's save this tragic story.
We beat up on Europe. It's a good place to stop. We'll see you guys next week. We got a lot.
Hang on, let's see. Can we play it out with anything, Garrett?
Yeah, good idea.
Lab-grown meat got banned in Texas. I'm great for that.
Dude, we got to throw that in with just the lab-grown meat stuff.
Butter and stuff. Did we never talk about that?
No, I keep resending it. Oh, what was it? I had a good one that we could have shown.
Here, I've got a video.
Good.
It says, liberals getting COVID booster shots just to stick it to RFK. So I wanted to show this, and I got something to say about it.
Hey, everybody. Kennedy Jr. here. Your new king of healthcare.
They're mocking his voice.
I'm trying to audition for Saturday Night Live. I think that's what I'm going to do on Saturday night.
You're tough, lady.
Yeah, that's like
funny
the real audio they put over their video there, or she did.
Dude, you know what's so funny is that, do you remember when everyone would say Biden's got dementia? They'd lose their mind going, you're making fun of people with a stutter. How dare you make fun of people with a stutter?
Oh, yeah. And then
they acted like they were just like, well, that is so beneath you. That's the only thing they got in RFK. And they'll try to act like, listen to him. He's so unhealthy. Yeah? Well, he's not an obese male wearing a dress. Who's spotty?
Yeah, you want to talk about unhealthy?
Who's healthier? Who's healthier? A guy that could go and do 1,000,000 pull-ups or whatever, or this guy that's an obese male living out his sexual fetish in government.
Yeah.
You tell me who's the unhealthy one.
But you know the point I wanted to make about this video this idiot made getting her COVID booster is that if RFK Jr. hadn't been doing the stuff he's been doing, she wouldn't have gotten this booster. She wouldn't have gotten it because there's no reason to get it. Yeah. So I just think that's funny, man. Lily Lala says, thanks, guy. Miggles says we should just keep going.
I know we do a lot. Dude, the food one's going to take almost an hour. The lady getting killed is almost going to take almost an hour.
Plus, I kind of like the idea of trying to keep our show to an hour. That's sort of what our overall goal was, but we always go an hour and a half. So
I know.
And we've got some League of Legends to play, Garrett. We can't we can't be workaholics no matter how much Miggles wants us to be.
Right.
Well, I think it was a good show.
Yep, it was fun.
Thanks, Miggles, Adam and Stove,
Miggles,
Boxbar, Lily
Boxbar.
Lala. This was a fun show. Thanks, everybody.
Everyone else, and excellent. Yeah. See you guys next week.
Peace.
Yeah, had to come through and let you know. Keep it locked, this is the Nate and Garrett Show. Talking current events, let the conversation begin. Everything from conspiracies, yeah, I'm talking aliens. Truth bombs that many never knew. We talking politics, everything up to the moon. Was the landing real or fake? I guess you'll never know. Let's talk, this is the Nate and Garrett Show, yeah. So lend me your ear, let's get it poppin'. You know that we keep it live, non-stopping. Educating, entertain, there ain't no doubt. After you listen, you'll be thinking way outside the box. From media dishonesty, never let them play you. Keep it authentic nowadays, many can't do. Unfiltered is how we do it. Make sure you stay locked in and tuned in, let's go. Had to come through and let you know. Keep it locked, this is the Nate and Garrett Show. Talking current events, let the conversation begin. Everything from conspiracies, yeah, I'm talking aliens. The Nate and Garrett Show.